Morning, folks, or I guess afternoon at this point. Busy day so far. A bunch of meetings this morning. Met with a couple of key senior leaders in my organization. Still trying to sell the concept of the work that I do in continuous improvement and Lean Six Sigma. Key takeaway out of that meeting, and obviously I couldn't show it. It's very sensitive material and whatnot. But key thing I took out of that, aside from I think the meeting went well, was speaking to your audience, and I'm kind of doing that right now. So in every case when you're talking to somebody, you should always be aiming to add value, to provide value to that person, and you need to speak in the way that the message is going to be received. Right? I can use words that mean nothing except to me and a small select group of people that have the same knowledge, background, experience as me. But that's not going to get my message across, especially when you're trying to sell something, a concept, an idea, a product, a service, whatever. And so you need to remember, and this isn't about dumbing it down, because I don't think that's the right approach either. You don't want to be condescending and speak down to your audience, but you want to use language and focus on what's important for your audience. So, for example, the mistake that I made kicking off the meeting was I was very focused on my program at this level. And what I failed to recognize initially and then quickly shifted into, which is, a talent unto itself, is that when you're speaking to a, business president or chief or chair or whatever at this level, that's what they care about. And so my focus was here on what do I need to do, how can we work together, how can we collaborate to make this work. When and where the conversation really started to really take shape was when I made that pivot to, okay, what does this mean for the larger picture, for the broader audience, for the broader context? Because really that's the sell, and that's where especially senior leaders in most large organizations, and most organizations period, that's where their focus is. They're always focused on the macro, and we tend to focus on micro things, what we're doing in the day-to-day, whereas these folks are tasked with huge transformational, running the business, like just big problems. And so once you make that pivot, it's a lot easier to get support and get buy-in. But you've got to be able to do that, so you've got to be able to have conversations up and down in the organization, but you've also got to be able to use examples and words and terminology and concepts that's appropriate for your audience. So, the apex of this is that you can deliver the same message anywhere up and down your organization, your org chart, based on who is consuming the information, because you want to make it as digestible, as consumable, as understandable as it needs to be for the given audience. So that was this morning. Big meeting this morning. I think it went really, really well. So I'm excited. This was the last of this series of meetings that I've been doing. So I'm really excited to I'm really looking forward to starting to get going. You may notice I'm wearing my lucky Star Wars Adidas sweater. I had considered doing this hood on just to have a little bit of a different look, but all good. Didn't want to mess my hair, and then I did it anyway. Last of the meetings. Now it's going to start. I'm going to start moving into more of an execution. So I'm going to have a lot more that I'm hopefully going to be able to show and share, and that's going to be cool because things are starting to move, which is awesome. So excited to share more. Disappointed I can't show a lot of the sensitive discussions, but hopefully you understand why. I know I do, and so really looking forward to getting a little bit more done this afternoon. Still got a couple rants that I saved from last week, so I've got to do those. But I think it's around 2:00 now, 2:20. It's coffee time for the afternoon. Quick jolt to get back up and then just really kill it to the end of the day. So we'll see you guys later on. Hey folks, Vince back on another Monday. Relatively quiet week ahead. One of probably the last few. I'm kind of glad it's a bit of a more quiet week. Came out of this weekend, big family wedding out of town, so did a lot of traveling this weekend. Did a lot of driving this weekend, more specifically. This week is a bit more quiet as we get into next week. A couple of things this week. Big stakeholder meeting today in a little bit, and then tomorrow is actually Customer Experience Day. It'll be my first time as a member of the Customer Experience Professional Association, CXPA. It's also the first one, coincidentally, where I will be in an official capacity because I am a member of the International Advisory Board for that association. So kind of cool, taking the reins on that a little bit within my organization. So hoping to capture a little bit of that tomorrow. Rest of the week is very quiet, a lot of family stuff. But next week we really get going with another travel. So off to Iowa the end of next week. So bit of a quiet week, but still lots of really interesting things happening. Still planning on doing this on a day-to-day basis because I think the conversations and will provide value. So still have lots of thoughts, still have things that I wanted to capture from last week that I haven't done yet, that I need to do because it's wriggling at me. I'm almost using this as a therapeutic device because I'm able to go through a situation knowing that I can't get mad or I can't say things or I can't do a certain thing. And then I can just use this and make a video of it and put it up a week later, and nobody knows what specific situation I'm talking about, but it gives me the outlet. So I'm really appreciative that I am doing this. I hope it gives you a little bit of value, but if nobody watches this, it's still totally worth doing. That's it for now. Gotta get ready for a meeting this morning. I have to take off my jacket, of course, because I can't go in a hoodie. That would be weird, but we'll check back in later on. Got a couple things that I want to say and a couple things that I want to do, and we'll see how the rest of the day goes. See ya.